Hello Thrivers, welcome back. If your desire or goal is to break through narcissistic abuse, complex PTSD, and or codependency, you are in the right place. Today I want to talk about 2 reasons why people tend to try to control narcissists, and more importantly, I want to talk about why and how to stop. Okay, so I know that we're used to talking about how the narcissist controls their targets, right? And I'm not minimizing that that takes place, because it does. However, there comes a point where there's a couple of truth pills that we have to swallow, and they're not easy to swallow. Okay, the first reason why people tend to try to control the narcissist is because somewhere along the way, they think that they can stop this person's rage or their anger or their unhappiness or their irritability if they can just act, find, do, and be that secret formula. If they can just reach that secret formula, then the toxic person would be able to be a wonderful person, the person they were at love bombing, and then life would be wonderful. They'd meet together and be, blissful. Anyone doing that is not doing that on a conscious level. Okay, because I went through that at one period in my life, but I didn't realize that's what I was doing. The problem with doing that is, in order to keep them happy, in order to not see their rage, in order to not have them be abusive, right? If you're in that you're trying everything to make them happy, what is normally happening is that you are sacrificing self in order to do that. Oh, the narcissist gets mad when I talk to my family. Okay, I won't talk to them anymore. Oh, the narcissist gets mad if I'm out with my friends. Okay, delete my friends. Oh, the narcissist gets mad when I'm reading a book and I'm enjoying some peaceful times. Oh, okay, I will live and do and do and do and do. You get the idea, right? In other words, if you are giving up pieces of yourself because you think that's what's going to make that person happy, that's a dangerous place to be for you. Because first of all, it's their responsibility to choose who they want to be. We can't make a person, be who we want them to be. We can't even make them go back to being who we thought they were. That's got to be their choice. The only person's behavior that we can control is our own. And if you're sacrificing self, what's going to happen is the narcissist that you think is going to be happier with you actually looks further and further down on you because of what you're doing. You're not respecting yourself. When you are sacrificing self for someone else, and they certainly aren't going to respect you if you're not respecting you. Okay, and I'm not saying that if you don't do this, the narcissist will respect you. We can't control other people, but I am saying that if you stop sacrificing self for them, that you will respect you. Okay? The second reason I think people wind up trying to control narcissists is because they think, if I can just get them to see my value, then I will know I'm enough. Now again, this isn't like this clear conscious thought. This is all done on a subconscious level, and you can really only start seeing it in your life if you're really noticing and being mindful of how you're being and how you're showing up. So, in other words, the way I see this taking place a lot with my face-to-face coaching is I'll speak with a spouse that tells me all the things they do. I do this, I do this, I do this, and he or she never sees it. And they never tell me, that they never notice what I do, and they're constantly criticizing me for what I don't do. And so in an effort to control the narcissist's perception, and I get it, because all they're really wanting the narcissist to do is see reality, right? But in order to do that, to get them to do that, they're constantly defending themselves, or they're constantly doing more and more to the point of exhaustion, and the narcissist still isn't seeing or acknowledging it. What they're doing without realizing it is they're trying to get the narcissist's validation that they are enough that they are a good spouse, that they are a good parent, that they are a good person. And if they don't get it, they don't feel like they can own that truth. Well, guess what? You don't need anyone's permission. It's a secret that the narcissists don't want you to know. You don't need them. You don't need their stamp of approval to know that you're a good parent or a good spouse or a good person. The real key isn't to control how the narcissist views you, because, in other words, thinking if they're happy with you, then you can be happy with you. The real goal should be you start seeing you. Start seeing your worth, your value. Start fueling your self-esteem from within instead of wanting them to see your value so that you can have self-esteem, right? You got to end that and start fueling self-esteem from where it's supposed to be from, which is from self, right? It's self-esteem. You have to generate it from within. So rather than controlling narcissists in these two ways, the best thing to do is start living in your own energy, in your own bounds of your personality, and seeing yourself and giving yourself the validation for who you are and what you do, regardless of the narcissist's perspective. Now, I know that that's very easy for me to say. And when I first heard that, when I was still in situations where I felt like I was in narcissistic relationships, when somebody told me that I could do that, Michelle, just stay in your own energy, my first thought was, yeah, right. You can say that, you have no idea what it's like. That's like impossible. And there was a time I thought it was. And so I know what it's like to be in that state. I know what it's like to struggle to feel like you can actually leave it. And I also know what it's like to be on the other side. So trust me, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And if you need help, if you're struggling and you just can't seem to get there, make sure you check out my new resource. It's called the Thriver School of Transformation. It's $79 a month. We meet weekly, live on Zoom, and it's a supportive community that we're all on that healing journey together. It's a lot of awesome things that take place in that school, but I'll leave the link down below in my description box. So if you are struggling, make sure you check it out, because it's an amazing resource that might be just what you need to finally be able to break out of these conditioned behaviors so you can live the life that you really want as the person you are, instead of as the person the trauma turned you into.